Hi everyone, it's Suey. So the other day I stumbled upon a list on Facebook or somewhere that had the most popular book of the year for all the years starting in 1945. And I'm not exactly sure what their parameters were for choosing the popular book, but just, you know, what was selling, what was everybody buzzing about, what was the book of the year that year. And so I had fun going through it, and I thought I would go through it with you on a video here and tell you what I've read and what I haven't heard of, what I want to read, and I would love to know what ones you've read, and if some of the ones I haven't read or want to read, if you would recommend me to go for it and find them and go ahead and read them. I just really thought it was interesting, mostly, to see what was the buzzed about book for every year since 1945. So here we go. 1945, it was Forever Amber by Kathleen Winson. I have not heard of this book, but I read the little blurb that they had on the website, and I guess it was a little bit scandalous. Yeah. And maybe that'd be a fun one to read. I think I'm going to put it in want to read category. The King's General by Daphne du Maurier. Anything by her I want to read, so for sure putting that in the want to read one. I don't know a whole lot about it, but 1947, The Miracle of the Bells by Russell Janney. I have never heard of this one. Has anyone heard of this one? Do you know anything about it? Yeah, so this one is not familiar to me, so I'll put it in the not heard of pile. The Big Fisherman by Lloyd C. Douglas in 1948. I've not heard of this one either. Sounds not my style, so probably not on this one. The Egyptian by Mika Waltery in 1949. Perhaps, maybe on this one. I haven't heard much about that one either. Have you guys? Let me know. 1950, I have heard of this one. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. I have read this one probably a couple times. It's amazing. It's awesome. It blows my mind that it was 1950 that it was published. 1951, The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Yes. I talked about that one the other day during Banned Books Week. I really, really love this story. So yes, I've read that one. 1952, Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. Yes, I've read this one. Pretty much I'm guessing we all have. If you have not read this one, you should bump it to the top of your list right now. 1953, The Crucible by Arthur Miller. I have read this one in school, I think it was. This is the play about the Salem witch trials. That's on our list to see when we go to Boston in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited to go to Salem. You know, it's one of those places where you've read so much about it. And I kind of want to reread The Crucible before we go. Lord of the Flies by William Golding was in 1954. I read this one so long ago that I hardly remember it. But obviously it's sort of a iconic book that everyone always talks about. Everybody talks about it all the time, but I don't really remember it very well because it was so long ago. I just know it's so controversial and probably a little gut-wrenching, a little bit disturbing to read. That's what I remember. Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. I've never read this one because I'm a little bit scared of it. And I can't believe that it was in 1955. I thought this was an older book. Even though 1955 is pretty old, but I thought it was older, like way long time ago. I'm tempted and curious by this one. So much buzz and talk about this book that I need to read it for myself. 1956, The Fall by Albert Camus. I never know if you say his name with the French way or not. I haven't heard of that one. I've heard of others of his books, but not that one. So I should read it. Put it in the to read category. 1957, The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. 1957. Wow. It's been around that long. I love, of course, we all do. Don't we all? Is there anybody out there who doesn't love Dr. Seuss? I love Dr. Seuss. The Cat in the Hat. Iconic. Some people have an issue with it, though. I think it gets banned sometimes because the cat encourages the kids to do bad things. But it's a great one, isn't it? I have read it many times. Breakfast at Tiffany's by Truman Capote, 1958. Or is it Truman Capote? You guys, I don't know how to say names. Truman Capote, Breakfast at Tiffany's. I know of the movie. I'm not exactly sure I've even seen the movie, though. I have not read the book. Can't remember if I've watched the movie. Is the movie about the book even? I don't know. Okay, I should research that one a little bit. And I should read it. 1959, A Separate Piece by John Knowles. I think I have this one and I've meant to read it, but I haven't actually ever read it. So I should read this one. 1960, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Oh my goodness, yes. Great, fantastic, classic book. I've read it several times. I'm not sure, 2 or 3 times maybe. And yeah, that's a good one. 1961, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. I have not read this one, but I should, huh? 1962, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. Ken Kesey. I've heard of the movie, but I have not read the book. Should I read the book? Yes, let's put it in the read category. 1963, Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Yes, I have read the book many times. One of the best kids books out there. It's so good. Let the wild rumpus begin. It's one of my favorite sayings. 1964, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. I think I have read this one, yes. I mean, you know, I think most of us think of the movie, at least I do. The movie was huge in my day. The Gene Wilder. The Gene Wilder movie was big in my day. So, but I'm pretty sure I've read the book since then. So I'm going to put it in the red category. 1965, Dune by Frank Herbert. Yes, I have read this one several times. It is one of the weirdest books ever, but classic science fiction. And I love the movies they're making of them right now. 1966, Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Susan. I do not know this book, but I have a feeling I should read it. Let's put it in the read category. To read. The Outsiders, 1967. The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Yes, I've read it, but I want to reread it again. 1968, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I'm intrigued by this one. I have never ever heard of it in my life. Not even a little teasing snippet of it. Is anybody? Do you guys know this book? Is it good? Is it crazy? Is it weird? Is it? I think it's going to be like maybe Hitchhiker's Guide or something. I don't know. Is it? I should read it. Let's say we've got to read that one. 1969, Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. I get Slaughterhouse-Five and Fahrenheit 451 mixed up always in my head. So I never remember which one I've read, which one I haven't, if I've read both, if I haven't read either. Why do I get those two mixed up? So I'm not sure on this one. 1970, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. Yes, I have read this one. I can't remember when I read it. I think it was a little later than 1970. I probably read it in 1975 or something. So I was a young girl, perfect age, right at the target audience for this book, and enjoyed it very much. I remember thinking, you know, this one is the one that gets banned all the time because it talks about stuff girls go through. And I remember thinking when I read it, should I be reading this book? But I read it and it was awesome. 1971, Angle of Repose by Wallace Stegner. Love this one. I have read it. I read several of his. Great writing. I love this one. So yes, put that one in the red category. 1972, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Vorst. One of the best kids books ever. One I love to read to kids. Genius that she thought of this amazing book. 1973, Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut. Okay, isn't Breakfast of Champions like Wheaties? I had no idea that was taken after a book. I seriously thought they just thought of that themselves. So now I want to know, did Wheaties come up with that slogan when Breakfast of Champions was a popular book or later? I might have to look that up. Anyway, I have not read this one. I don't know if I really want to. Kurt Vonnegut is kind of hard for me. 1974, Carrie by Stephen King. Isn't that his debut book? And it went crazy popular right off the bat. Lucky Stephen King. Oh my goodness. I have not read it. I don't know if I want to. I don't know that I would enjoy it very much. Oh, but I just want to read Stephen King books, but you know. So I'm going to put that one in I don't know category. Humboldt's Gift by Saw Bellow, 1975. I have never heard of this one. I know the author, heard of him, but not this book. Should I read it? I don't know. The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins. That's 1976. Never heard of it. Is it good? Should I read it? I don't know. Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison, 1977. I have read this one. Her books are amazing. I've read several. Good one. The Stand by Stephen King. I have read this one. Such a huge book. Crazy stuff. Intense. 1979, Sophie's Choice by William Styron. I remember when the movie was big, and I know what the choice was. I don't remember if I've actually ever read the book, but I kind of know the story, but I haven't seen the movie. So maybe I did read the book. I have no idea what category to put it in. How about, I don't know. 1980, A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. I have not read this one, but I have heard a lot about it. 1981, Rabbit is Rich by John Updike. I have heard of this one, but I have not read it, and I don't think I want to. I don't think I'm going to worry about that one. Color Purple by Alice Walker, 1982. I have read this one. Loved the movie. Amazing, heart-wrenching stuff. 1983, The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. I have not read this one, but I want to put it in the want to category. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. It's insane that I haven't read it yet. 1984, The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. I've heard of this one, so I think I would want to read it. 1985, White Noise by Don DeLillo. I have this one somewhere. It was in the to read pile for a long time, and then it got stuck down here probably when I reorganized all the books, and I'm a little nervous about it, but I do want to read that one. 1986, Love You Forever by Robert Munsch. Okay, this one was another huge popular kids book that I have somewhere here, and I've read to my kids a bunch. It will make you cry. Have you read this book? It will make you cry. 1987, Beloved by Toni Morrison. Yes, I've read that one also. 1988, The Alchemist by Paul Coelho. I think I read this one. I don't remember it that well. People refer to that one all the time too, and I just sometimes don't get it. Like, I guess it didn't hit me as hard as it does some other people. 1989, The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. I think I did read one of hers, but I'm not sure I read The Joy Luck Club. I'm probably getting, if I did, I get her books mixed up too. So I should read it if I haven't already. 1990, The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. I've never heard of this one. So I put it in the I don't know category, or haven't heard of category. 1991, A Thousand Acres by Jane Smiley. I have read this one, and it hit me hard, very close to home, because my family has 1,000 acres of farm in Idaho. And when my grandparents died, we have been going through similar things that the people go through in this book. And I think we've worked it out finally, and everything's going to be okay, but it is a struggle. I think we've got it figured out, and hopefully that farm will stay in the family for a while longer. 1992, The Pelican Brief by John Grisham. Oh my word, do you remember the John Grisham phase everyone went through? I don't remember what the first one was. Is it The Pelican Brief or not? But I read a bunch of them. So I'm pretty sure I read The Pelican Brief. 1993, The Giver by Lois Lowry. Yes, so good. Read that one a couple times. 1994, One for the Money by Janet Ovanich. I never did get into the series, and I might have tried to read One for the Money, but I probably didn't keep going. So I'll put it in the don't want to read right now category. 1995, Wicked, Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. We have this one, and I think I meant to read it, and then I heard that it wasn't that great. So I bought it, and then I ended up never reading it, and I don't think I want to. I'll just stick with the musical. That's more my thing, I think. 1996, Into the Wild by John Krakauer. I did not read this one, but heard a lot about it. I could probably handle that one, I think. So let's put it in the read category. 1997, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Yes, I have read this one. 1998, The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. Yes, I read it. So good. 1999, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Have I read this book? I think this is going to go in the don't know category because I feel like I have, but I can't remember. 2000, A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius by Dave Eggers. Heard tons about this one, but I never read it. Do I want to read it? Yes. Yes. 2001, Life of Pi by Jan Martel. Love this one. I read it a couple times. 2002, Middle Sex by Jeffrey Eugenie. I can't say it. I have not read this one. I'm a little bit intrigued by it, so I'm going to put it in the to read category. 2003, The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Yes, I was swept up in all the craze about that book, and we did read it. Everyone in the family, I think. 2004, Gilead by Mary Lynn Robinson. I did not read this one. I have it on my shelf, so it's on to be read category. 2005, The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. I did read this one for book club. 2006, The Emperor's Children by Claire Massoud. I have never heard of this one. I have no idea if I want to read it or not. 2007, 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. Yes, I read this one. It's over here on the shelf. Man, that one made a buzz. 2008, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Yes, I read it. 2009, The Help by Catherine Stockett. I read this one. She came to the bookstore. We met her. She signed my book. That was an interesting event. Yeah. 2010, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. I read this one and was blown away by it by most people who read it. Have you read this one? It's a great nonfiction one. It's going to go on my nonfiction list for November to recommend. I don't know what I'm going to read, but anyway, great book. 50 Shades of Grey. This is 2011. Have I been saying the years? I forget. 2011, 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. No, I did not read it, and I have no desire to. I'm sorry. 2012, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Yes, read it, loved it. 2013, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I have not read it. It's on my shelf somewhere, and I want to read it. 2014, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Yes, read this one. Good book. 2015, The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Yes, read this one for book club. It was okay. 2016, The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. I have not heard of this one. Why? I should have heard of this one. Don't know anything about it, so I don't know. 2017, Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste. I read it for book club. 2018, An American Marriage by Terari Jones. I have never heard of this one. Should I read this one? It sounds like it's depressing. 2019, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I think this one I heard of, and I think I would like to read this one. 2020, Where the Crawdads Sing by Adelia Owens. I was going to read it before the movie, and then I didn't get to it, and then I saw the movie, and now I haven't read the book, and now I don't know if I want to, but maybe I would do, because it would be interesting to compare the two. So let me put that in the to read category. 2021, The Four Winds by Krista Hanna. My sister was just talking about this one, said it was great, and I should read it. And 2022, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Can't believe we end on this one. But I haven't read a Colleen Hoover book yet, and might as well read that one, the one that was most popular in 2022. So yes, let's put that one on the TBR to read category for the most popular books of the years. And that's where it ends, because of course we have not got through 2023 yet. We don't know what the biggest book is going to be this year. What do you guys think it will be? Let me know in comments what your predictions are. Let's see if you're right. Anyway, there's my quick rundown on all the popular books over the years. So let me know where you guys fall in all this. Have you read most of these? Are there some that I haven't read that you would totally recommend? Let me know in comments. I would love to know which ones I should bump to the top of the list. I know we are all fans of lists, and they are so much fun to go through. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.